Thank you. I'm trying to get to the point of finding evidence that 17,852 ballots actually exist. So there either need to be ballot images, or we need to go look at the ballots, the paper ballots.
Well,
it's very simple.
As I explained at the beginning, we have the paper ballots. The paper ballots exist. There's no 17,000 missing ballots. The discrepancy, the 17,000 discrepancy, was because of that scanner error, the programming error in the scanner. That got corrected. The results were recertified and re-reported, and that accounted for the 17,000 difference. There was no missing ballots. Like I said, we have hand counted every single ballot.
Great. Please. Then let's look at the paper ballots. The ballot image is supposed to be accompanied by a SHA file, which proves that the ballot image has not been tampered with. Did Fulton County, this is a question for Fulton County, find and confirm the SHA files for all of the ballot images?
Well, respectfully, this is outside the scope of the original complaint. And as Ms. McGowan has stated, if there are further investigations or further complaints to be made, that's one thing. But today we need to stay within the confines of this complaint. So we don't have an answer to SHA files. SHA files were not a part of the complaint. They're not a part of the investigation.
Thank you very much. This is about the vote totals in an election, and the SHA files are part of the evidence that shows that the vote was not tampered with, that the ballot or the image of the ballot was not tampered with, and it actually exists. And actually, I did request the SHA files. I asked for that 4 months ago, and I'm sorry that you were not informed. So were the SHA files, and that, to go further, the SHA files are part of the electronic record that should have been kept according to State Election Board Rule 183, 112.13. So it's simply a matter, and those are retained by the superintendent and the clerk of the court. So an unanswered question. Okay. For the investigator, do you agree that a SHA file, there's a SHA file for every ballot?
I'm admittedly not a technical expert. I am legal counsel to the Secretary of State's office. I expect there would be, but again, that was not part of this investigation.
Okay. I asked for a technician to be here to answer some of these questions. Is there a technician here that could answer these questions?
No, we have a primary going on right now, and our technical experts are busy administering that.
For the investigators, do we need to go to the clerk of the court and examine the electronic file and the physical paper ballots?
No, this has been an exhaustive investigation. We have spent hundreds of man-hours on it. As counsel for Fulton County reported, they have been very cooperative. They have spent hundreds of man-hours while they've been administering this primary that is going on right now. So we feel like this has been exhaustive. We've researched all of the documentation that we need to reach our conclusions.
It's hard for me to reach a conclusion that thousands of ballots actually exist. So the only thing I would recommend is that we go to the clerk of the court, obtain the electronic file that should contain all of the ballot images and the physical paper ballots for review. So machine count 2 has 17,352 votes for which there are no ballots. And still no ballot images. Let's move on to complaint number 2. Duplicate scanned ballots.